Hi, everybody. Welcome to West Ham Network. Russ, welcome to West Ham Network. New ND. Give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. Appreciate you watching. You know, there's going to be a hell of a lot of people all over YouTube doing their transfer windows and stuff like that. So thank you for joining us for our little lunchtime show. Obviously, Anton had done a little show this morning, a quick sort of update in terms of what's been happening in the news, so to speak, in the last few hours. And I'm just giving you an update, really. And then we'll be doing a live show tonight. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, starting all the way to the bitter end. And hopefully it's not a bitter end. Hopefully it's a sweet end for West Ham. I think we're going to be busy. I hope we're going to be busy. Been a lot happening even since Anton spoke a little bit earlier today. So that's what we're going to do. Bring you the latest information, loads of conflicting reports, get your views, and hopefully have a giggle. Make sure, as I said, there's everyone in there aren't be doing a transfer stream show tonight. But, you know, if you're lovely enough to join us, please do. We'll have some special guests. We'll have... Hang on, sorry. Oh, okay. Yep. Straight off the press, we'll have some special guests on tonight. Some not so special, if you know what I mean, but some special guests, but not so special guests as well. But we'll have a giggle anyway, hopefully, and be able to take some... have some fun regardless of what happens really towards the end of the transfer window. Let's have a look in the chat, and then we'll give you a bit of an update. Save you having to do it yourself, really. That's all we're doing. I'm just saving you the bother. Because otherwise it can be quite demoralizing. Looking through all the different transfer news, believe me, I have done it quite a lot recently, so we're going to go through some of that stuff. Let's see what we got in the chat. Carl, good afternoon to you, Sue, mate. We got Hazara. I hope you're well. How are you feeling about today? Nothing looking like it at the moment. I think it's going to be a late dash. Afternoon, Father Snowman joining. I didn't think you were joining us for any of these transfer news things. But anyway, thank you. Appreciate you going. I have the feeling that we are 1-0 down with 10 minutes to go, or even 3-2, a better analogy. With 10 minutes to go, get them in. Nat Phillips going to Bournemouth. Interesting. Good afternoon, James. Hope you're well. May have missed that one out. If we were in for him out after all, and that's what I'm seeing now. There's lots of people who were our targets are going to other places. Were they really our targets? They might be. They might not be. Who knows? How many keepers we get in, we'll see. No players incoming yet. Reports that Coletta deal is off. Billy Smart will be proud. We'll see. There's conflicting reports everywhere. Hey host, transfer day, it's the most wonderful time of the year. I think Jake said on Twitter that it's his third favourite day of the year, and I was going to say yeah, mine too. But in case Mrs. Budden was on Twitter, I think it's I'd technically say it's my sixth favourite day of the year. Transfer window deadline day after Flo's birthday, Joe's birthday, my birthday, wedding anniversary, Christmas. Transfer window deadline day. And actually, check out, I think Paddy Power have done a great advert with a friend of the channel, Jim White. It's so funny. Fair play to Jim for doing it. Maybe Jim might pop up tonight. Who knows? I'm going to get drunk tonight. Fair enough. I can't get drunk because I might be dashing to Rush Green. John, hope you're well, my friend. Dave, hope you're well. As Jess Street, go to bed. God dear, Jesus, go to bed already. I'm going to numb the pain away. Afternoon, Grant. Whatever happens, come rain or shine. Tomorrow, I think Anton's scheduled a show. Basically going through is the squad good enough and stuff like that. So whether it's good or whether it's bad, who knows? And Wednesday, X-Ham are coming on Wednesday doing a My Hammers 11. Good one. It's one I haven't heard from a long time. Good one. He's a diamond player. I'm just going to say that. He's a diamond of a player. It's not Diamante, but he's a diamond of a player. Word from my hometown are leaving now after securing class from my cousin who works at the club. That's what we led to. That's what I think we're led to believe as well. Ericsson signed for Bees. He has. Artel, hope you're well. My birthday 3 days ago. Great time to be alive, has it? I wish we had Pellegrini just for today. Yeah, but then it'll take 3 years to get rid of some of the gaff that he's brought in. So anyway, apparently so. We'll come to that. Anyway, let's start actually. Let's bring up the old where are we? Let's share my old screen, give you a little bit of an update, show you what's been going on. And again, these are just the rumours. These are just the rumors. Hey, do you like it? Do you like it? Special just for you guys today. It's a special one. Let me minimize that so I can see what's going on at the same time. Right, okie dokie. Right, let me just do this. How do I change the slide? There we go. Okay, so Mr. Moyes is apparently hopeful of a couple of players signing today. We shall see. In terms of the latest news, Nunez bid. Now, there's been conflicting reports. There was a report this morning that that the bid's been accepted, but Nunez has rejected us in favour of playing for a Champions League club in the summer, which we could be if you fucking sign for us, potentially. But then Sky Sports about 11 o'clock put on the news feed that the bid had been rejected by Benfica. I think it was believed to be about 45 million, or 42, 45 million quid. They want a little bit more. They want a little bit more. And I think that's the flip side. When we come out and say, oh yeah, 50 million for Rafinha, 50 million thing, they know we've got 15 million. They know we've got 50 million quid in our back pockets. They probably want 50 million for him instead of 42. Anyway, as he says, Nunez, Sky's changed their mind about this in 3 times. Indeed, that's what I'm saying. And so I think they want a little bit more. I think they've seen the reports of 50 million. They go, yeah, maybe we should be doing that. Way to do business a few hours for deadline. Well, don't forget, you look at Dave's transfers, and a lot of them. Bowen came in transferred like quite close to the wire, if I remember. I think Souček was quite close. I heard in the great one that the rumor is they're not buying any room. So there we go. He's had 1 month to bring in new players. Well, it's the way he does it. And so. As I say, it's we'll see what happens. All these bids going in just the board. Maybe, possibly. I saw you saying it on Daya's channel as well, Gaza. So copy and paste job, I know, but that way joking. It could be. As long as it's a good centre back. And I think that's the same with me, Arto. As long as we get a good centre back in, or a centre back, I'm not sure of a good one really, because I think there's reports of us potentially going in for another one. So we've got Nunez better rejected. Worse, we've got DCC, lots of conflicting reports, in out. We've said it in the chat that apparently it's a done deal. It's been a done deal. So who knows what's going on with that? Again, conflicting reports. Some say the deal was done yesterday, and some say it was doing this morning. L'Equipe said this morning a bid hadn't been put in yet, or a bid was being still negotiated for the player. So we'll see what happens. What else we got coming up? In terms of one of our target, and again, if it is a target, Newcastle had a bid accepted for Hugo Etiquette. Still would love it because it sounds like Etiquette. But I mean, if he has a bid accepted, surely you know, and if he was a transfer target, particularly with Nunez, could be dead in the water, could not be dead in the water. You think you'd put a bid in? The amount of bids he's flying. It's a bit like. Someone, I think one of the West Ham fan sites called it a bit like a man shopping on Christmas Eve. And that's a bit like how I'm feeling at the moment. It's a bit like supermarket dash, supermarket sweep, everything, just throwing anything in the basket and see what happens. So, I mean, if we were really after this guy, I think I would have assumed we'd have put another bid in for him if he's particularly coming over to Newcastle for to do a Harry Redknapp, pick him up at the airport. Who else we got? Kazawa. Pochettino, I think it was yesterday, came out and basically left him out of his squad. He's not in their plans. Again, it's us and apparently Newcastle are the main two looking at making a late dash for Kazawa, the left back, 29, but left back. Could be a shrewd, Champions League experience, 13 capped international, maybe. Who knows? What else we got? Kazawa, we've got some backup options. Reece Healy, the Toulouse striker. I think Stel spoke about him yesterday. Apparently being looked at as a backup option. 27, been around the houses. Good news is I think Kiefer Moore's off to Bournemouth, so we're not getting Kiefer Moore. That's one gone. So that's quite good actually for me. It's like all these players are starting to go now who we were linked with, so it's sort of narrowing our pool of about 100 down to about 70 now. So that's not too bad. What else we got? Who else is coming? Maybe Benteke, backup option, number 2. Although Crystal Palace, according to the Sun, have said we need to not get him on loan. We have to pay him. We have to pay him 10 million quid to sign the 31-year-old. So let's see. So you can imagine. Someone posted something today, which made me laugh. It was 4 years ago since we signed Jordan Hugill for £10 million. Could lightning strike twice? Another £10 million flop of a striker. He never did get out to look at those bubbles, did he? He never did get out to look at those bubbles. Bless him. Bless Jordan Hugill, who scored in his debut. He signed on the Saturday, went straight into the squad and scored. Fair play. And I think he did the same thing when he went to West Brom, I think. So, yeah. And again, what's good maybe with Newcastle, if they do go and buy Hugo Etiketi, it may free up other targets that we're looking at. Maybe Nunez, I don't, so it's not, some of these things going, it means that, they're sort of, their squads are being filled up. So it's not, I'm not really too fussed with that one, to be honest. Who else we got? Now, Dieng. Now, apparently no movement at all. Keep said he's not going. He's not going at all. But then Daily Express journalist Ryan Taylor has come out today, like literally in the last hour, and said that we've already held talks again with his agent, looking at a loan move, with Marseille open to agreeing initial loan move while we've been discussing the DCC deal. So there we go. He's not going, definitely not going. So who knows what's going to happen with that one? Who knows what's going to happen? That's why you need to make sure you check us out tonight and go onto the live stream tonight, because I think a lot of these will be, particularly the loan deals, lastminute.com jobs, although he is in the AFCONs at the moment, isn't he? A new name, John Egan. Kent will be happy. Kent's been banging on the drum about John Egan from Sheffield United. A late move potentially for John Egan. I think it could be here, potentially. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. Maybe it could be DCC comes in, and then with Diop going to we'll talk about a minute, but maybe John Egan could come in as another backup. It'd be a cheap backup, maybe. I don't know. I think he's 25, John. Good player for Sheffield United. He's been playing well. He's been linked with a move to Everton as well. And so yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. Keep an eye on that one. Origi, Divock Origi, the injured Divock Origi. Apparently, West Ham have asked Liverpool to be kept sort of updated with any movement, that happens today for him. Obviously, they've signed Diaz. There looks like they're signing Cavallo from Fulham, which I'm gutted about, because I think we would have been a good place for him. But Liverpool have a bigger draw. They are a bigger club than us. Which is good news in some ways, because it means there'll be no bid for Bowen really, because they've got their 2 extra wingers, so to speak, or 2 extra forward attackers. But Divock Origi, apparently his availability has come as sort of their sort of reluctance to let him go has loosened slightly with these 2, with Diaz particularly coming in as well. So who knows? Could be late, but he's injured, I think, and it could be a loan deal with because obviously his contract runs out in the summer. I mean, Anton was saying it today as well, that it does run out in the summer, but it's automatically a 2-year extension if he hits a certain number of games, but we don't know what the number of games are at, so we'll see. What else we got? Jesse Link, one last attempt. It's like when you've got a girlfriend and you've broken up, and you're gonna have one more go and see if you can make it work. According to the Mirror, about 11 o'clock today, they claims that the Hammers could make one final attempt to sign Jesse in a loan deal before tonight's 11 p.m. deadline. Let's see. A few outs, maybe. Frederick Alves has joined Bromby on a permanent deal today. Obviously, he was on loan to Sunderland, came back off loan earlier in January with Connor Coventry, went back out to MK Dons, and Alves has gone to Bromby, back to his native Denmark. No, Bromby's Sweden. Is it Bromby? I don't know. He's Swedish, isn't he? Is Bromby in Sweden? Yeah, it must be. I sound like an idiot. But he's gone on a permanent deal back to Bromby. So, good luck, Frederick. Didn't work out, but no doubt he'll end up being an absolute star of a player. And we would have, be worth 50 million knowing us in a couple of years' time. So he's gone. What else have we got? As we said, Newcastle are putting apparently a dizzy offer of about £6 million for Issa Diop. I could see this one happening if we get DCC and maybe John Egg. Might be one in, one out of the door. Who knows? One in, one out potentially. But as I said, at the moment, I think they've put in one news outlet said about 6 million. The other one said it was 8 million. The other one said 10 million. So we shall see. I'm going to get through some comments in a minute. Who else? Ashby apparently in talks for a loan deal to Hull and back. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with him. I mean, obviously fantastic player, obviously star in the under 23s, but maybe a loan deal to get some proper, first team football might be good for him. I know it looks like Longello potentially, whether it's permanent or loan to Nottingham Forest. Alessi looks like. So, the three, I think, people who will break through potentially, although Longello maybe on a free transfer, maybe on £1 million permanent deal. But Ashby to Hull, and that could potentially just putting 2 and 2 together, because while you're talking about a player, and Anton mentioned it with Joe Worrell as well, but with the loan deals, with last minute deals as well, maybe we're back in for Lewis Porter potentially. Who knows? We got the deal done very, very quickly and very, very, very late in the transfer window with Bowen. So we know Hull are open to a late move potentially. Who knows? He could be, with when you're already talking. While you want Ashby on loan, we might want the same thing that how as I said, Joe Worrell could happen, maybe to Nottingham Forest, because you open up the conversation there. So there could be something there to that. So there's plenty of irons in the fire. I think that's Milot in it. Yes, Milot. So there's lots been happening. And that's in the last few minutes, really. So let's have a quick look in the chat, because I've neglected you. I do apologise. Right, Toby's in the chat. Good afternoon. More chance of signing a Crazy Frog. He can't come back now. He's too late now. It's done. Happy no signings day, everyone. Matt, thank you. Thank you very much. Being left with literally no options. Kletikar or no one, as Nat Phillips is going to Bournemouth and strikers. If we were going in for Nat Phillips, Jamie, if we were, that's everything now. I'm looking at it with a pinch of salt, because we know we get linked to everyone and their nan at the moment. So potentially, could we not be linked with these guys? And actually, it's a bit of a, it's just, we know a lot of it is paper talk anyway. So we'll do a roundup at the end for people who've just turned up quite late. So we'll come back to that in a minute. What we got here, Toby's in the chat, as I said. Toby said your spanner is like our new signing. Well done, Tobes. Very good to see. Who do we moan at if no transfers? Board or Moyes? Well, Moyes has put it on himself, hasn't he? Really? He said, the board have told me there's money to spend if I want to buy players. So, he hasn't said there's no money. And, there's deals, there's bids have been put in. So who knows? What's Freddie Sears up to? Playing at Colchester, I think, isn't he? Hope to get Freddie on the channel soon. Good morning from the Modest City, Detroit. Newcastle won't be able to have all these new players they've got to gel, which is good for us. Indeed. Well, I suppose Newcastle are going down anyway, really, aren't they? I think they got Hendrick. They're also getting in what's the name on loan, aren't they? Some Villa player from Villa on loan. Only in FIFA to see the manager negotiating. Maybe. Yep, they said on loan he scored. And as I said, then Cardiff are selling Keith Moore to Bournemouth, I think it is. Maybe he could be going to Newcastle. Might come to it. Who knows? Afternoon, we are like a man. In that, Adam, that's exactly what I said. It's like bloody like supermarket sweep at the moment, isn't it? It's supermarket sweep, to be fair. And it just seems, but I don't mind a bit of scattergun. I don't mind. I find it interesting. I find it exciting. I do. I'll be honest. Although I get all my Christmas presents early, I like walking around and seeing all the people rushing about. Anyone see anything about the alleged bid? Oh, it's rubbish. Yes, Chelsea. ITK on these. Just say go to bed. All primary deals have collapsed. So there we go. Exciting times. We're not signing anyone. Moyes is going to lie that no one is available. We will see. I'll take Origi and Nketiah. I think one or the other. A photo of Phil Jones posting the West Ham shirt in front of is now circulating. And that's what I love about transfer window day. I used to love watching the live stream on the BBC website, and there'll be like some bloke will be like just texting, just seen Phil Jones buy Greg's at the Surbiton services, going to Norwich ? And think, those types of things. I think it's hilarious. Or Neymar spot is landing in London City Airport, off to the Orient, perhaps. I love all that stuff. I love Origi, to be honest. He's Liverpool's goal scoring wild card, crazy, swooped up as their main forward. I totally agree. Still get a feeling we're going to sign someone big by the end of the day. Still, I've got the feeling. I mean, I think if anyone was saying, money where your mouth is, collect a car. I don't know about this. I don't know about the other one. The thing is, Anton mentioned about Nunez, the Nunez deal getting done, but Spurs are buying Rodrigo Benedicto from Real Madrid, who's Uruguayan, and they're doing the medical remotely in Uruguay, because obviously they've got an international game tomorrow. Uruguay have, and so there's talk of using the same thing to get Nunez over the line and doing his medical at the same time. Potentially, who knows? We just bring you all the news. Anton, you plonker, shouts Del Boy Stelios. Indeed, Marlene. It's not over. It isn't. Believe. Although Jordan Hugo wasn't first of us, it was nice seeing him. It is. I just want to see those bubbles. He never got to see the bubbles. Frankie goes to Howard T-shirts, Everton. That's where the training ground is. There we go. Obviously, lucky you, Frank Lampard Jr. Well done, Paul. Good luck to your son. An absolute crate. Apparently he's like 4 or 5 bids. He's going to have a great day. He's going to get his old uncle up, isn't he? Should get Harry up to do a few out the window. That's why it's called the transfer window. Daniel striker, and then why? I'm just saying. Someone we've been linked with, and Spurs looking at him as well. And who knows? If it's not confirmed, then I really can't see anything being done. I can't see any. Yeah, I agree in terms of really big deals, but those loan deals are done very quickly. The medical doesn't necessarily have to be done. It's just the paperwork has to be filed for the, for the actual. And then actually, even then, you get an hour on top, don't you? If you've started doing the paperwork before 11 o'clock, you've got an hour to complete the paperwork as well. So we'll see. But we'll be there. I probably be to the bit around. I'll go back to the office tomorrow, but I'm sure Stel will be there. Anton will probably pop on. As I said, we'll have some guests on, maybe some ex-players. Maybe. No one wants to join West Ham. I totally disagree. I think people do want to join West Ham. I think we've got to find the right level of player. I think the thing is, we're stuck in this sort of no man's land where the fans want us to go and get. I mean, if we got Nunez is a fantastic signing, but maybe he is a league. If we look at the leagues and in terms of the Premier League as different leagues, we're sort of topish of that second tier league. Realistically, in my opinion, we're never going to win the Premier League. So we're in that sort of Champions League, Europa League, and for a lot of players, like that Champions League 4th place, not necessarily the first 3 places. And so maybe Nunez wants to go to a Man City. He's going to see what's his name, Alves from from River Plate looks like he's going to Man City for 17 million quid, and then they're going to keep him until the end of the summer. Then he's joining in the summer. Nunez sees that, and West Ham not as big as Man City. We're not. So we need to find our level. I think, and I think we're sort of at the moment with transfer targets, and I think actually some people are like, well, this one, someone like. Have a look at this. DCC. I think Khaled is in our level. I think we should get. I think he's someone we could easily get. I think Origi we could easily get. I think if Lingard, if Man United would let us have him, we'd have him now. So that's our level. So I think when we put him then we try and get Calvert. Calvert Lewis. I think he's maybe like a step out, maybe because you're looking at rather than playing. he'll be like 60 million quid, and I think then that's a different type of player for us. Would love to see Boja. No, that's not going to happen. No signings by the council, deals collapsed. Really is pathetic, and Jordan was right to call him out. Well, we'll see what happens, innit? I mean, no one really knows. Even these Mama Brown ITKs don't necessarily know. None of them are, unless they are Davy Moyes, unless they are Sullivan, Rob Newman. They're the only three guys realistically who knows what's going on, and maybe the club secretary, because he's got to deal with all the paperwork. Those are the only four people really who know. So we'll wait and see. Why are we letting that go on when they will not let Lewis Porter go? Well, they might do actually. If they, if you've got something they want, little deal. And don't forget, Hull have just changed their manager as well. So looking at maybe reinvesting that money and getting the players he needs in. Who knows? We will fall down the table like a lead stone. There we go. Ladders has said it. I think it's a smokescreen. Why? Who knows, man? I mean, the way we've been doing our transfer dealings, particularly our contract negotiations, Boulder Council was reading today that Suchek's in negotiation for a 4-year deal at the moment. So I won't be surprised that happens. If as a clause that he has to take the blame for any problems, we'll see. We need to stop messing about and just buy who we want. Stop all this loan rubbish. I reckon pay us to announce late makes the deadline interesting. Wouldn't surprise me, Rich, at all. You're going to feel pretty silly when Moyes unveils Haaland and João Felix at the end. Very like Tevez and Mascherano he brings in with name Mbappe and Haaland as our striking partnership for the rest of the season. Obviously loan to buy, because we can't really test. Can they do it in the big league? Can they do it on Tuesday night in Burnley? Who knows? David Moyes has proven himself transfer market. He would rather make sure he gets the right player in the headline, or any player just trust in his judgment. And I know it's frustrating. But again, looking at our current league, okay, I know I'm talking different leagues now. Man United haven't bought anyone. Liverpool have bought Diaz, and they've bought Cavallo. Looks like they're going to buy Fabio Cavallo. He's going back to Fulham, and Diaz will probably get in. Will probably play. So he's. But they were going to get him in the summer, but it's only because everything escalates. They move forward. They're going to Arsenal. They haven't bought anyone yet. Not I know of. Chelsea, they haven't bought anyone yet. I know of. Man United haven't. Man City haven't technically yet. I think they're buying Alves, but not for the squad. They're going to send him back on loan. Tottenham have been rejected by a guy who plays for Lewis and several other players, but they're going to buy a couple of players in today, which you'd imagine as a new manager. So, it's not, there'll be some, is what it is. In the good old days, no transfer would result in a burger van being tipped over. Apparently it is accepted, but the player turned us down. Well, apparently in the same way, in the same breath, Sky Sports have flip-flopped again, and they've said actually the bid was rejected. So we don't know what's going on with that. Same as everything. Token of pictures online, posted a picture of himself, his first go. Yep, he did. And his brother, his agent, said something about like release day or something like that, question mark. And so who knows? Right, let's go through. Rusty, to be honest, it's pathetic. That's why we will lose Bowen and Declan. Where's Bowen going to go to? Liverpool aren't going to buy him now, are they? And they were the main ones after him. Other teams are signing players and loaning players. We're doing nothing, but it's enough. But it's no surprise. Enough is enough already, says English Yardie. The only thing the club will sign is Sullivan's expense claims. Who will be starting? Ben Johnson or Soufal? For me, it's BJ. There we go. Is on our Twitch available? Is it the player or their greedy agents? Who knows? Nunez deal is exciting, but I don't think that was ever. The Uruguay thing is nothing to worry about, in my opinion, because Tottenham are doing the same thing with a player in the same squad. So they're doing the stuff remotely as well. So I don't really think that's an issue. That's all thinking. You should be thinking, who do you want to join? Who is good enough for us now? Is it? Should have been done by now. Sad thing is we've been looking at him for the last two. We have indeed. But I want all my toys now, Russ. Dr. Leg passed away. Oh, that's a shame. We can't even win a match, Russ, at Everton. Never mind the Prem, indeed. Simon Jordan called him big fake. Fair enough. Is this what we call window shopping? It sounds like it. Apparently, Connecticut, so we've 10 hours left and no longer linked with players. Well, we'll see. It keeps changing all the time. We've had someone in the chat say their mate works at Marseille and they reckon it's done. So we'll see what happens, BRDC. We'll see what happens, mate. They've had a bloody month. No, that's what we show. No showing window. Stephanie saying yesterday about the French connection. FC in it and FC UK. So I thought he should have called it FC UK transfers at all, or FC UK all transfers at all. But he didn't. I'm shocked that we will be surprised by the activity. Hope Alessa is polishing his boots. Jermaine Defoe was in Sky booth. For God's sake, I'll take him. He just went, what are we doing as a club? Quite an article about a bid put in for Andrew Johnson that Sullivan rejected, so the bid was never made. But was told to the press to make Sullivan look a bit interesting. Antonio playing for Jamaica, 04 coming in. We are doomed, I tell you. Nah, in all seriousness, it's still a great form for us. It's not. It isn't. And it's not, it isn't good that we haven't signed anyone. It isn't good come 11 o'clock if we haven't signed anyone. But it's not the end of the world, is it? No is the answer. It's not. I know it's frustrating for me because you want to sign new players, you want to see improvement. But then I don't want to see players coming in for a wage who are going to do a Haller, who are going to do an Anderson, or do a Yarmolenko, and stop potentially someone like Okaflex getting a chance. Do you know what I mean? And that's what we really want as West Ham. We like to see. We love a flash. We love a new signing, but we love an academy player coming in who takes on the world. And Okaflex could easily. So anyway, that's me. To fix the striker issue, shambles if we don't find cover. But then funny. He is a professional manager. Professional football manager. He has a professional football, setup behind him. If he, I don't want someone like Haller coming in, and then or Haller went in at the time, and I thought, this is it, and he wasn't. It didn't work, and then we got 45 million quid deficit. Same as Anderson. Anderson worked for a bit, but he wasn't the right. He was inevitably wouldn't fit a system that we would eventually play. So that's 75 million pounds worth of player, almost 80 million pounds worth of player, almost more than that really. That we could have bought 5 Thomas Součeks, for example. What would you rather spend your money on? Have signed 2 potentially world-class players, or potentially signed. But yeah, we're fine if we're happy. 15th to 18th, we'll see. Why don't we summer buy? Let's not worry about the summer. God dear, we'll see what happens. Want more cover than Antonio? We've wanted that for 8. If Spurs can buy a few players from Juventus that are good, why can't we buy someone from the top team unlike a random striker from Rim? Well, Stad Rem, if you think about Ekiteke, he is mustard. So he's one, he's not just, he's one which would grow and grow and grow and grow. So I wouldn't sort of look at that like pithy wise, we'll go from Rem. He's a good player. I think the Juventus guys, I think the thing is Conte knows the Serie A. That's his league, isn't it? Whereas we seem to be fishing in, say, the French league quite a lot. It seems to be maybe a league that maybe Rob Newman knows particularly well. I don't know. But, and I think with Spurs, they haven't signed them for sure yet. They're probably will sign them, and fair play because they need Antonio Conte needs his players. He's talk about Spurs. They've been rejected, as I said, by a guy who plays for Lewis, who down in Brighton, non-league, has rejected Spurs. How do you fit a Spurs fan? And Traore, I think he went to Barcelona on like 15 grand a week, and I think Tottenham are offering him like 100 and something grand a week. So, so and we're not Everton. We haven't got Lampard in charge now, have we? Moyes is like a striker, Lantos. Apparently, the best closest is used. They are so similar. I'll tell you the same. Don't mind the transfers being slow and minimal if their quality as the last few transfers have been. They have indeed. Ericsson going to Brentford, he is, but untested. Since in the Premier League, he's quite old. He's coming to he's 30. I'd have probably taken him on a loan deal, maybe, or a short-term loan. But ex-Spurs, isn't it? Would you have an ex-Spurs in the team? Did anyone see it? Did we get anyone else apart from Ben Rama at the last January window? I can't remember, to be honest. I honestly can't remember. On my way to salvage this window is to release Maz and Yama. Thank you, Steve. Do you think this contract is good enough to carry on the entire season, go for it in Europe? I think it is. Honestly, I think it is. But in the same way that last year we had a small squad, we were lucky with injuries, and then we were unlucky with getting Deck sort of suspended. No, he got injured rather. He got injured at the end of the season. I think with good, I remember. Look, everyone talks about squad depth. I remember Liverpool when they beat us, but they had like Henderson and Milner playing centre back, and that was Liverpool. Who'd won the title the following year, the previous year. So squad depth is always an issue with when you have lots of injuries. Yes, it frustrates me that we have to play Antonio some games. It frustrates me that maybe Okaflex could have got a run out by now. But looking at the types of players we've been bidding for, they're not out. They're not, as you said, not Antonio strikers. I mean, even bloody Benteke is not an Antonio striker at all, is he? I need to get my heat maps out. What's really annoying about Haller is we still had no. I would have been amazed. Yep, I totally agree. The kid, you're telling me Liverpool played 6? Yeah, they did. But we were linked to him. But were we linked to him? Do you know what I mean? And then if they put a bid in, maybe we put a bid in, and who's going to pick West Ham and Liverpool? He's going to pick Liverpool, isn't he? If he's not, hasn't got an affiliation with West Ham, the two teams, Liverpool won the league, and then we're continuing the Champions League. So, what do you expect? Going to see more activity, or we'll have to, Gaz, because I think half the team are out of contract. No doubt we'll bid from 40 million for Neymar, 30 million for Mbappe. Traore went on loan. Spurs never offered him 100 grand. He's had. They actually did. Well, the bid was accepted by Wolves for was about 25 million quid, wasn't it? And he was going to go, and then Barca came in with a loan offer or something like that, and he preferred to go to there. So he did reject Spurs, man. So he did. I was hoping we are going to strengthen to boost, but hey ho, we got in the last. Good point. We got Ben Rama. Well, he made his ASIC. You're right. We made it permanent, didn't we? We had to make Ben Rama deal permanent, so then get Jesse on loan. Well done, well remembered. We are so inept. We are currently looking at the Jamaicans. I heard he scored as well, the Jamaican striker. Russ, if we don't sell anyone, is there an excuse when Burnley got the fella? And but he might not be right for us. In it, they've got Chris Wood's a big striker up front who does, is a big target man. We don't play with target man. We did that with Haller. With someone like Van or Verkos, where is it? Van Verkos, where is he's the same type of player as Chris Wood. So maybe Moyes would, 11 million. If we wanted him, we'd have bid for him. You would have done 50 and nobody wants to sign me. Thinks we'll be taking falls again. But I think, Lauren, we've still got 4 teams above us with bigger power. And to be honest, you got teams below us who have bigger power, bigger pull power globally. Man United's, Spurs, even as well. They, as a global brand to attract these foreign players, West Ham are a young upstart, really, compared to the greedy 6, really, isn't it? To be fair. This was like when the last minute. Oh, exactly. Benteke is going in. If we don't make any significant, whatever the season, just isn't acceptable. It's a poor run. If you were Deck, would you want to stay? Honestly, yeah, I would, because you've seen Grealish at Man City, and if he went to realistically, Man United are a mess, so he wouldn't go until at least the summer at all if he did, because they don't know who's going to be in charge. And he's a sensible boy, Deckies. He really is. Chelsea, would they reject him? He's like, are they in the mood? Are they in the need for a player like him at the moment? Have they got enough? I think there was reports of them bidding, but apparently it's just rubbish by all accounts. Man City, the only ones I could think of, and they're not in the market at the moment. They've still got Fernandinho. They're still playing. He wouldn't be the first name on the team sheet, and at West Ham he is. And particularly things like England and stuff like that. I think for me, I wouldn't see him going. I mean, I could see him not this summer, next summer, because Noble's gone. He's the main man, that type of thing. Haller didn't run. Bit of an issue for the football indeed. I read a story about being in Germany. Perhaps it's to pick up Schlick. Just pick on his way home. Why not? Lauren, yes, Spurs don't have enough pull. Totally agree. Never got along. I don't think they ever got a chance. Got to go, Russ. But if you're still live later, I'll join in tears. We'll be live from about 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock tonight. So make sure you check out. And we've got guests. We've got some ex-players hopefully coming on as well. And some special guests and not so special guests like Nigel and Sean. I love them, really. Got to use the youngsters. We have to. I think Okaflex would do. What's the latest on Nunez? No, idea. No idea. So in terms of where we are, if anyone turned up late, so what have we got coming up? Let me just take that off because it's going to give everyone an epileptic fit because it was just share the screen. There we go. In terms of updates, what we got coming up, what's been happening. We've got Nunez built. Well, it's like the hokey cokey. It's in, it's out, it's in, it's out. It's shaking all about. So we don't know what's going on with that. Apparently, it's been rejected. Apparently, it's been accepted. Apparently, it's been rejected. I think that Benfica know, of seeing the press about 50 million quid's been, banded for Rafinha and Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips. They want a little bit more for Nunez. So that's we don't know what's going. DCC is bids, no bids, it's bids, no bids. We've said something said in the chat that his mate works at Marseille and it's all done. So we'll see what happens with that. We've had Newcastle had a bid accepted for Hugo Etiquette. So if West Ham were genuinely interested in him, you'd think they'd put another bid in for him. But we'll see what happens with that one. Kazal was back on the radar apparently. So we'll see what happens with that. Pochettino said he's not in his plans for PSG. So we'll see what happens. Reece Healy from Toulouse, Ligue 2, the Ligue 2 striker. Obviously Toulouse is where we got Mr. Diop as well. So that's been he's 27. He's played at Cardiff. He literally is a backup option at best, I think. Maybe like a Hugo deal, who knows? Same with this man, Benteke, 10 million quid that Crystal Palace have quoted us if we want to get him in January. So, yeah. But it could be a Hugo deal. Could see those bubbles. Could walk out to those bubbles. Hopefully not. Diang. Not moving. L'Equipe said he's not moving, but then the Express say today that he is he's that Marseille open to a loan deal potentially. So we're already there talking about DCC. I'd have chucked him in. I'd have got that conversation. John Egan from Sheffield United, a late move potentially for him. Centre back, highly regarded. Everton showed interest in him early on in the season. I can see that happening as a back. I think that could be a centre back backup option. I really do. Good player though. He's a good player. So we'll see what happens with that. Origi apparently with Diaz coming in and with Fabio from Fulham potentially coming in, or going back out on loan. His availability has loosened somewhat, and West Ham have been asked to be kept updated with his progress. Who said it? I think it's the Mirror. The Mirror in their live feed said West Ham are hoping gonna put one last bid with Jesse Lingard on loan. We'll see what happens. But as someone in the chat said, I imagine that's going to probably end up being staying at Man United and being a free transfer for us in the summer. Some outs. Frederick Alves has gone on a permanent deal to Bromby, so good luck to him in his career. Newcastle put in a bid for Diop, which has been rejected. Apparently, Desiree, a small offer, but they may come back in for him. They're looking to get anyone really, to be honest. We know in Newcastle, Harrison Ashby. Yeah, they're enough. Where's Henry Lansbury? He's at Bristol City, I think, isn't he? Harrison Ashby, bloody hell, button, sort it out. Has been in talks for a loan deal to Hull, which could potentially open up the door to maybe Lewis Porter going back in for him. Who knows? And that's where we're up to at the moment. A few more comments, and then I'm going to skedaddle. Mikey, hope you're my friend. Nat Phillips has gone to Bournemouth on loan. Good luck to him. My heart missed a beat a few days ago watching the ticker, and Carroll on loan to West Brom. Oh, there we go. We'll be signing that known geezer indeed. You'd only want to stay because you're a West Ham fan. Dexter wants to win, and he's become a fan very much. He talks about becoming a fan since he's been at West Ham. He wasn't originally, he was a Chelsea fan, but they rejected him. Not saying anyone will be like the end of the world, but they're linking us to everyone who's been kicked to ball and heading a merry dance and frustrating the hell out of me. I totally agree. Elvis just been spotted. Elvis hasn't been let in the building. Nunez, he has rejected us. Well, apparently he didn't even get to that point by what Sky Sports have said. So who knows? The only thing we know with Nunez, how are we going to get the 100 million release clause? Indeed. I would take Jimmy Chang. Indeed. Worst striker 20. Jimmy Chang. Brilliant. Doesn't matter what West Ham do, the club will never reach his ambitions. Russie, this is just annoying. Please have Benteke. We need Declan. Russie, you're the man indeed. I know, but then people say we need to sign someone. We need to sign someone. We need to sign someone with Premier League quality who could come in and who's played in the Premier League. He's a striker. I know. I know. It might be a step backwards, but he might be all we got. I'm just saying. Just saying. Don't shoot the messenger. But I can see that one happening. Just because it's, it's like Hugo, I want to see the balls. 4 years ago, that was 4 years ago to the day. He came out to those bubbles. No, he didn't. Didn't come out to the bubbles. Poor him. Rich, hope you're my friend. No, he's not for me. He's not for me, but I can see that one happening. To be honest, we could have, if we wanted, if we liked him. That's the thing. Everyone sees all these transfers happening. Say, oh, we should have had him. Maybe he's not in Moyes' plan. Maybe he's a right arse. Maybe Weghorst is a complete knob who would come in and make. We don't know, do we? We don't know what the player's like. We see the name on the sheet and we say, oh, we were linked to him. We don't know if we were ever linked to him, but a journalist put 2 and 2 together. All the crap no one wants. I don't believe that any is better than none. Exactly. I don't believe any signing is better than none. Honestly, prefer no player over wrong player. Indeed. But I can see a Benteke coming in because it's a different option, but not for 10 million quid. And Benteke is next again, so I'm saying I wouldn't go there. There, of course you would. There we go. Just got a striker who likes collecting red cards too this season. Indeed. Congratulations. Now off you go and get sent off. Origi would be a catch, though. He certainly would be. Getting some loans out will help us, mutually beneficial for both. I would love to see, like late bid for Ake. He's gone quiet. Maybe, who knows? Healy sounds like a Sullivan. Well, he is Salthouse rather, isn't he? He's Salthouse's agent. So he's his agent. There we go. I give 20 million at this point. Russie, I'm waving the flag. Same old the white flag. Oh dear, there we go. Right, let's go for a few of them going though. We're doomed. Nunez is on another continent, never signing by. Doesn't matter about that. In this internet world, as I said, literally, the bloke next to him is signing for Tottenham. So we're not too far from Tottenham. We've both got the internet. We've both got Zoom. Rodrigo is doing his medical via Zoom remotely. And so, apparently, the function is there. And if anything, it's set up. So it's more likely to happen, than people go, oh, it's in Uruguay. It's definitely going to happen. Well, actually, because Spurs are buying a player, then they've set it all up. So we could just walk in afterwards, take a ticket. 4 minutes ago, 50 million in add-ons have been injected by Benfica. I think they'd want, I think you're looking at about 70. So we'll see. But we all see. Needs to look at Big E. Well, he didn't do very well in the Royal Rumble, so there we go. I think Newcastle go down. Burnley have a striker. Burnley, yeah, but they lost the striker as well. They lost Chris Woods, and so they bought Chris Woods for 25 million quid, and they bought Weghorst, if he's any good, for 30 million. He'll probably score on his debut because then everyone say, "Oh, we should have bought him," but that's always happens. I remember when Dean Garner, when he left, and everyone was up in arms about what does Moyes know he's doing. We got 90 million quid for him, so we'll see. If we're willing to pay 20 million pounds for Nunez, then why don't we go for Gabigol, who actually wants to play for us? Indeed. At least we can go to bed early. That's their player when they wear their shirt, or it's just rumours. No, it's our player when the social media team posts the thing on Twitter. Christian Benteke. Oh, you got to laugh. Come on, life's too short, isn't it? Christ, the last week with everything that's gone on in the world and people, losing people, we've got to laugh at these things. It's football, isn't it? Just heard, might not happen. There we go, you see. We'll be waiting to the last minute. Not good enough. I'm getting depressed now. We're due to sign 7 players, but we transferred the video maker to Newcastle. It's getting more work, getting paid by the video. Collector car's gone quiet. It has, but everyone's gone quiet. Newcastle are signing players, strengthening the squad, getting the job done, but they're also going down. So there we go. So, we're in a different position now. We're not, we're getting this to maintain our league position and maybe push on. We're not getting it to stay in the league. So Newcastle are desperate. Burnley are desperate to get someone. Maybe Weghorst isn't the right player for them, but they're desperate. Why Moyes does not give a list 3 or 4 to give him to get? We don't know. We don't know, David, do we? We don't know how it works. I'd rather take Jermaine Defoe over Benteke, to be honest. But he's on his way. Russ is Sky is saying club is opening. Yeah, he is a 4-year extension. So there we go. And with Defoe, he's always going to go Sunderland. But I don't know. Sunderland managers just left, any. So who knows what's going to happen about that? Maybe he's going to as a player like coach. Fair play to him. You've seen what's happened with Lampard and Gerrard and people like that. Maybe he's doing the same. Rather give off Flex a go. Exactly. And then people go, we're not going to sign anyone. Then we say, right, okay, we're going to sign Benteke. Oh, we don't want to sign him. I just want to sign someone. We'll sign someone. Because we don't want him, because we want to give him. So I'd rather, someone said they'd rather sign no one than sign the wrong player. And that is totally right. Has an update after them was rejected. He thinks he will go back. I think we will go back in for more. I think Nunez seems to be the person they're most interested in. And it's about negotiation now. Yeah, I can see. For me, I'd like to see I think DCC will be in, and then the next one, I don't know. Nunez, who knows? We'll still ask for the summer freebies on loans. As said, bids were put in players weeks ago. We don't sign anyone. We don't get top 6. People just say the fans we tried. Maybe, who knows? We need to start a goal scoring striker. So it's everyone, Barry. Anyway, I'm going to shoot, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate there's so many different club, channels out there all doing transfer stuff. So thank you very much for joining us. As I said, we'll be back here tonight. I believe 7, 8 o'clock, something like that. Make sure you become a subscriber. Make sure you hit the bell icon so you're made aware as soon as time we come on. Be worth your time coming on and chatting. I'm sure you'll be dotting around all the other channels. That's fair enough. We've got guests. We do have some guests coming on. Some special guests, some not so special guests. But they'll be dotted around. So make sure you tune in for as much as possible. Myself, Anton will be in. Stell will be in at various times as well. So we can all have our tea. And as I said, we'll have some extra special guests hopefully turning up as well. But we'll see what happens. But anyway, keep the faith. Keep the faith, guys. There's worse things that happen at sea. But anyway, take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Thank you to all our channel members. If you want to become a member, hit the join button there. And until next time, see you soon tonight. Take care. Just put your head down for an hour or so, because I think we're going to have a late night tonight. Anyway, cheers. Bye-bye.
It's like a family tree.